Hey Whitney,
Hey.
Julie, you're not wearing a toque. You're a little bit fuzzy. Is there like a smear
Oh,
on
I
your
know it's
computer? There you go. Have you already got something going, Julie?
yeah, I'm not sure about what's
Stippling.
or stapling or whatever.
So it's using dots to color in.
That's what I do understand with the Google thing. So yeah,
So
I'm using
it's
a
just using a dot instead of coloring or lines or whatever.
Oh, cool.
I'm using a Q-tips.
Nice. I'm using impossibly fine tiny markers to drive myself crazy.
My neighbor Jen did that at the live event. And she did this very, very beautiful drawing, but she moved to the thicker side of the marker about halfway through. Are you still on spring break, Julie?
Yes.
Nice. Jen was saying it's 2 weeks out here.
Yes, I know. It's great. It's just the school year, like back home finished a week earlier in June.
Okay. So that's where the
Here
extra
they,
week.
yeah, the week is at the end of the school year. So yeah, here we go through like June 30th, but back home it's more like June 23, 23rd that we're off. So
Yeah, I think
I
it's
guess it's too hot um in June over
yeah.
there. And then it's only 1 week spring break.
Yeah, that's what we grew
And
up with, 1 week spring
yeah,
break. And then when I heard they
yeah.
got two out here, I was like, man, like what do the parents do for 2 weeks of like childcare?
Same. Yeah, I don't know. They plan it or they ask family or they go to like camps.
How's your work week been, Whit?
It was good. I just got in from drinks with some of the ladies I work with, and it was fun,
Yeah.
just to say the least. But yeah, it's been all right.
How are you and Bacon getting along, Julie?
Good. Enjoying your time off
He's behaving
by
himself.
ourselves. Yeah, he's in his routine, so he's perfectly happy and
Mhm.
fine, sleeping everywhere, watching birds. He's an happy one.
Hey, Lorene, you made it. We weren't sure you're gonna
I
come.
hadn't, I had no internet. I don't know
Oh
what the
no.
problem is. Yeah, so yeah, but I'm
And
here.
do you know if Cheryl's busy tonight?
I know her daughter's here.
So she's
Um,
probably busy.
I- yeah.
Okay. Okay, now that you're here, I'll go do a quick flash through the examples. So we're doing a stippling night, and what that does mean is shading with little dots. And it gives a really interesting way of blending colors. You can and if you're really good at color, you can blend them right on top of each other I didn't do any of that in here, but you can make your green stippling by putting a blue and a yellow dot side by side, and that'll give you green visually. Um, And it does,
Ooh, I like that.
this was not a very effective black and white stippling. It works better if you space it out more and use smaller dots if you're just going to use something black and white. Otherwise, you just kind of lose a lot of it.
I like it. It's like a static kitten.
Static kitten. And I really would say that, like, the strongest place that it shows itself, or one of the best places to use it, not exclusively, but a really strong place, is landscapes. It really does lend itself to a blend that looks very, very natural. And also, so many things in nature have kind of a modeled pattern to them anyway. So it's really good for recreating that. I think that's probably enough talking about it, and time to practice doing.
I'm trying the color theory shading where I'm mixing like two complementary colored dots next to each other to create the idea of gray instead
Cool.
of just using my gray marker. I'm gonna see how it compares to just using the gray marker.
I'm glad you're trying that, like somebody's doing that in this night. As I didn't, when I was making the examples, I didn't think to include that, but it is a really cool way that stippling can do that other things can't do. I had a friend in Port McNeil ask if I was going to do any figure drawing classes. So I'm kind of, see, is anyone interested? I'd have to charge for them because I'd need to be able to pay the model. But would you guys be kind of interested in that?
I heard tonight you were doing it.
Well, I just posted on Facebook to see if anybody would.
Oh, okay. Because Doreen is keen to come.
Okay.
I would be.
And I think it would like, I'll see what kind of interest the model has. Like, it probably won't be nude. It'll probably be in like tank top and shorts. I just feel like that's probably an easier sell for most people.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, when Pat and I come visit, he can be a nude model. He's so beautiful.
I would love that.
So sculpted. It's so beautiful. I'm like, ooh, we should like get you doing some live drawing classes because uh
You should look into that where you live. You actually live somewhere that might have stuff like that.
yeah, right?
That was one of the things I was like a little bit right before I started doing these. I was like, if I lived in a city, I could go to like an artist run studio and take figure drawing classes and like be doing these things. And that just doesn't exist here. It's like, well, if the thing you want doesn't exist, maybe you should make it.
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the supplies you need for a new dog, Lorraine? Or is there anything you're gonna have to pick up for her?
I think they're all coming with her. She's very well taken care of. Actually, too much stuff. I'm going.
For your tiny house?
Yes. Like she has a crate, which I'm not crazy about, but I'll I'll keep it going just for the transition at least till she feels comfortable.
Is she
Yeah.
like kind of crate
Some
trained?
dogs really
Yes. Yes. All my dogs have always slept with me. So this is
Yeah. Hi, Dave. Yeah, give my cats the choice. And when it's cold, they're definitely both on top of me. But if it's not cold, it's only the older one that you see in the background a lot of the time that wants to. Terry's his own little man.
uh
Where does Bacon sleep, Julie?
Uh, different spot every day. He's a free spirit.
Hmm?
Sometimes really weird places.
Like hidden places?
Yeah, on top somewhere in a shelf or on snowshoe, like something not not a place, but oh well. Or on top of the cabinet where it must be really dirty. I don't know. He likes it up there.
He's doing the dusting for you.
Yeah, bring it back down.
Yeah.
I made sourdough pita pockets tonight.
Did you get that sourdough from Darlene?
Yes.
Nice. And did they turn out
I was
tasty?
they're maybe, I made 32 of them and there's only one of me. So I actually froze over 2 dozen of them. And I hope I think the thing is because they really blew up into their little pockets. So it was, and right out of the oven, they were baked instead of fried.
Yeah.
And right out of the oven, they were awesome, but I don't know how to keep them moist enough maybe you know, Julie.
I'm not sure. I think the freezer is a good way. You let me know.
Yeah. I love having small little bits of things, like even at breakfast having scrambled eggs and in a just a little like a, a tortilla or something. I like little nibbly things.
Yeah. But it's always tricky, cooking for a single person.
Oh my God. So much of my food goes to the compost. I'm going to try and get organized so that when I make stuff, if there's extra, I'll find somebody at the pantry who needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the one inexpensive part of chickens is that any food waste just goes to them. They eat pretty much
Yeah.
everything. And yeah, I don't feel bad when something goes like, where it's like I won't eat it, but my birds would, or I'm
Yeah.
just eating something because I made a huge pot of it. They'll pick it clean, and I love it. I love it because I know then I'll have eggs.
Yeah. And I mean, you are paying for their food constantly too, so
Although I recently made an egg sign and started selling eggs, and recently acquired enough money to buy 2 bags of food.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they're paying for themselves, as well as the surplus of eggs that you've had.
So many eggs. Like we're getting an average of 14 a day. Like I can't even keep up with them. Like
No,
there's so many eggs.
no, even with 3 adults in the house, no household is eating 14 eggs per day. So we're winding down to the last 10 minutes. So time to talk about next week. Something kind of cool is going to happen for the next few weeks, and that is Whitney is going to lead them. And so we're going to be following her examples and her prompts, and I'm going to get to draw along with you guys, which I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, so next week we are going to design our own barn quilts. If you've ever seen barn quilts before, um, they're they're usually painted and put up on the side of the barn. Here is a bunch of examples of like really just like plain abstract ones, things you would like keep like that you would put up on the side of a barn. Here is an example of one that's more
I'm holding this up
like
for YouTube and Instagram.
objective. Yeah, more objective. So the idea is you take a square and you create a pattern that has a center point or at least some symmetry, and you pick your favorite colors, and you can either go totally abstract or you can do like a combo in between. Like this one has abstracted flowers with an abstracted bird in a geometric form. So they're all like quite simple. So we also have like I found this online with just a bunch of different like geometric
Oh,
examples of like what you can use to fill in if you want to just go for something and play with your favorite colors. But you can also design whatever you'd like for your quilt. So it doesn't have to be of anything, but it can be a simple shape. It can be any kind of geometric abstract pattern you want. It's just square with a center point and big bold colors and go from there.
so is that a thing? Is it like, do people paint on their barns?
Yeah,
Yeah, so there's different parts of Canada. Like I know lots of people put them up on their barns, like all through Ontario and into the East Coast. Um, you can a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them too oriented like this instead, and they're just used to decorate like the side of a building, basically. Um, and there's quite a few examples. So like look around and see what's out there because they're really beautiful and they look great in the landscape because people make them, they paint them on giant pieces of plywood and like stick them up on the sides of their buildings and they look really beautiful and they're just really fun to make and to design. So
Wow. I've never heard of them. That's incredible.
yeah.
oh yeah, no, it's fun.
I think they're an Eastern thing. I don't think I've ever seen them out here, although I think I have seen them in Alberta and Saskatchewan.
I
My
would believe
sister
that.
my sister has a barn, a beautiful. It's like a classic. The shape, everything. It's huge. They just put a new roof on it, so it looks amazing. But there's no, they have to put a barn quilt on it now.
Now that you know,
Yeah,
maybe you should paint her
have
one.
to design it.
I'm gonna get her on it right now. Oh,
What
that's
did
fun.
everybody do tonight? Let's see how far we all got.
I did your apple.
Oh, Julie, that's
Oh, that's nice.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I started this like mushroom thing.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And so I tried two different shading techniques. This mushroom, the like trunk of it has gray and brown as the colors for the shading. And the shading on this one, I used this orange and this blue.
Ooh.
And it created like a cool kind of neutral like tone.
Very
yeah.
Um,
cool.
not get as far as I thought it would, but
Mm.
I'm doing a
Wow.
daffodil
A daffodil. Lovely.
from my garden.
I love it.
Oh, that was fun.
Like
Your
so
apple
many
turned
more
out
hours
pretty
of
good.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. So if I Google barn quilts, I'll see lots of
Yeah,
real life examples.
yeah.
absolutely.
I actually ended up having to Google I can't open my email at the resource center. My email just does not want like security. It won't let me in. So then I ended up having to like Google and like check to make sure I had all your examples. And I couldn't find this one. And then I was like talking to Francine and she showed me how I could print from my phone on our fancy community printer.
Oh,
Cool.
wow. Cool.
Yeah. So our printer does more than I thought it did.
I mean, your phone does more than it thought it did.
Yeah.
Whitney, I like that you're having a glass of wine when we do this.
Yeah, I'm like two margaritas deep. I had some drinks with the girls after work, so
Oh,
that's where I'm at.
dreaming about being someplace warm and having margaritas.
Well,
Yeah, it's a lot warmer where you guys are.
I don't think that's Maine.
No, not right now, at least.
In the summer though, it gets hotter there.
Yeah.
Are you close to the ocean?
We're about 15-minute drive, so not far. And the river that's by our house, you can actually like canoe it right to the ocean.
Oh, no
You
way.
can actually see the effects of the tide up the river during high tide where we are.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. Although it still takes like 2 hours proper to get anywhere where there's like seaweed and stuff. It's kind of remarkable how far up the river the tide affects the like height of the river.
Okay, it's gonna shut us off. Thanks for coming, everyone.